Hi, I'm Marianne Binetti, and I'm going to show you how to make a really easy Easter centerpiece. Now, this requires only having some sort of an Easter object. I just found this at a home decorator store. Maybe a few houseplants, and no real cut flowers and vases and fancy things. You don't even need an Easter basket. So this is a centerpiece that you can make using what you have on hand, and it could be like at the entry of your home, or it could be on the table as festivities begin, and then it's easy to take off and move aside when you have Easter brunch or dinner. First thing is choose your base, and I'm going to use this with a handle on it. You can just use a tray if you don't have a bowl. A great big Easter basket that's low also. Now, I'm not going to use Easter grass in this design, but I have another design coming. Instead, I'm just going to take a dishcloth, a spring dishcloth. This one has carrots on it. I'm just going to lay it across the bowl like this, and that's just to add a little bit of color. The next thing I'm going to do is position my focal point, my little Easter display object. There's so many of these, you probably have one in your closet. I'll put it probably off to the side here. Now I'm going to start layering in my house plants. Now this first one is going to go in the back. This looks familiar. This is the poinsettia that I showed you how I used at Christmas time. And that poinsettia has been sitting around since December. It's spring, so I'm tossing out the plant, but there's one branch that was still living, so I just cut it off and stuck it in this vase. This is a vase with artificial greens around it. That's going to go in the back here as the highest object. I'm simply making a pyramid, the tall and then leading down. So here we have a croton plant. I've got to show you something about this croton. This is a house plant, and look what's on the bottom. Okay, that is a wick, and that wick sits so that when I water it in this little bowl of water here, when I water it, the wick soaks up moisture, and this croton plant needs watering maybe once a month or so. So I'm going to stick this maybe where I can see it a little bit. Maybe I'll stick it here. It's a little shorter, so it goes more towards the front. And remember, you can position it like this or twist the plant. And this way you get the tallness of the plant in the back leading down. And then here's a pathos. A pathos is a very common indoor house plant. It has a wick as well. This is left over from a Valentine's Day potted plant. I'm going to just hide my plastic pot, this little wrapping here, and use the spiller effect. Position this so that the greens spill out front. Now, here's an item that I have in the house. It is just artificial Easter eggs, and all I do, this is the very, very lowest object, put that in the very front. So I have Easter eggs on top of my spring dish towel, my focal point, my odds and ends of house plants, and these handles means it's easy to place on the table as a centerpiece, an entry, whatever. And you too, I bet if you look, you can find enough interesting objects to make your own spring centerpiece. This has been Marianne Binetti with Easy Answers for Great Gardens.